Saints quarterback Drew Brees has multiple rib fractures on both sides of his chest and a collapsed lung on the right side.
That's tough.
No.
That is not good. Drew Brees took a massive shot yesterday, although a lot of D linemen who played the video back asked, what did you want us to do? He actually landed on his side. Whenever Drew went to the sideline, he was talking to Sean Payton. You saw him pointing at his ribs. Then when he doesn't go back on the field, you assume automatically, okay, this has to be something pretty serious. If they didn't think they could just shoot it up to numb it to get through the game. Multiple broken ribs and a collapsed lung. T's and P's of Drew Brees. That is not great news for the New Orleans Saints or for Drew Brees. Now the attention will turn towards Jameis Winston starting or Taysom Hill starting. Adam Schefter told us basically last year he thought Taysom Hill would be the starter, but inevitably they picked Teddy Bridgewater over Taysom because of how much they liked what Taysom Hill did outside of just being on the offense. They like the special teams play. They like the gadget plays. If you put him at quarterback, he can't do any of that. That might limit their playbook. But now if it's Jameis Winston, I'm excited to see what Sean Payton does with Jameis Winston, who we have to say did get LASIK surgery and can see his teammates for the first time his entire career. That's big breaking news out of the NFC South, AJ.
Wow. Okay, so if Sean Payton, though, he has made the comment in the past that old buddy's his next franchise quarterback, right?
Yeah, he said that he's Steve Young and he's his next franchise quarterback, and they paid him like $17 million or something like that.
So if Taysom is your guy, then he starts this game, doesn't he? If you weren't lying to us, he's your guy.
Same conversation as last year. This is the same exact conversation as last year when they put Teddy Bridgewater in. Teddy Bridgewater won 5-0 or whatever, and then he obviously makes a lot of money. But we said every single week, why wouldn't you put Taysom Hill if he's your Steve Young, if he's your guy? Now, it has to be said yesterday, although Jameis Winston came in and was the passing quarterback, Taysom Hill took a lot of snaps yesterday at center, or at quarterback. Now, 2 fumbles, 1 fumble lost, kind of in a awkward ball handling thing with a run-pass option situation there. But you're right. Why wouldn't you put in Taysom to be your quarterback if you see him as your future quarterback? Last year you had a chance to have 5 games with him to kind of get a little test to see if he could be your guy. Now, multiple broken ribs and a collapsed lung. I assume that's going to be a few weeks. I'm not 100% sure. I'm no doctor, but that sounds pretty serious. Going to be a few weeks at least. You can get a chance to see the guy, or you pay Jameis $1 million. Let's see what we got with him. I'm excited to see what Sean Payton does with that offense. I think it's going to revolve around, we'll just shuffle the ball over to Alvin Kamara because nobody can fucking tackle that guy.
Yep.
That seems like that's probably a good offensive strategy.
Yeah, and Taysom is the second highest paid backup quarterback, even though he does everything at $10.5 million a year.
There it is. I thought it was $17 million.
$16 million is guaranteed.
Oh, jeez.
So he got paid $21 million, $60 million guaranteed.
By the way.
I mean, even if whoever's playing quarterback, they're thinking about it, though, Pat. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up?
Oh, nothing. I was talking while you were talking. I couldn't hear anything. But even whoever's playing quarterback, the plan doesn't change. You think their offense changes at all? No. Give the ball to Alvin Kamara however we can.
By the way, it's a great offense. And I like to think, because everybody acts like they're playing backyard football whenever a punter gets juked by some world-class athlete. They're like, he just got juked or whatever. I like to think of it as backyard football then. If that's how we're going to judge things, let's just judge it as if it's backyard football. Could you imagine having Alvin Kamara on your team? That'd be pretty awesome. That'd be pretty cool.
Help out a lot.
All right, here's the play. All right, you're going to snap it. They're going to get to 2 Mississippi maybe, and we're just going to pitch that sumbitch to this guy, and he's going to shake everybody on the field and score a touchdown. That would be awesome. It'd be amazing.
But if you have Jameis Winston, don't you? I mean, there's a little more opportunities for play action, throw a couple bombs. Yeah. I mean, like that part of their offense really doesn't exist right now. I mean,
well, they were trying to work it back in there whenever Drew Brees was getting mocked by everybody for not throwing the ball down the field. Remember that next week, Sean Payton was like, we're going to take some shots. And he hit a couple, and he missed a couple. And then the next week, they tried it again. With Jameis, with those new eyes, that guy threw for 5,000 yards last year, couldn't see a fucking thing.
Let Jamie spin it.
Listen, Jim Winston was potentially a starter this offseason when Drew Brees did an interview.
Should have been. Yeah.
Now we get a chance to see how this whole thing plays out. Jameis Winston might make himself $20 million a year, just like Teddy Bridgewater did last year. And now this is not T's and P's to Drew Brees, by the way. That injury sounds terrible, and I think he wears a pretty serious flap jacket too. So I'm not sure how that whole thing happened or whatever. But those quarterbacks take some big shots. They get paid big checks though, and they go to big banks. That's just part of the whole thing. Collapsed lung. How many lungs you got? 2?
Yeah, that's it.
What's the deal? Everybody talks like, punctured lung, not that big of a deal. Collapsed lung, not that big of a deal. It's like, what happened?
And they work as a couple. They work together.
Oh, so they tag team each other? Or
I believe so,
Tag
yeah.
one in,
The other
tag
one
out?
picks up the slack.
And when the
from
one
collapsing.
collapses, how come does they just send like people go over there and just like take a plunger and like bring
Oh
it
yeah,
back?
they
Like,
inflate, they just inflate it.
how's it work? How do the
They
lungs?
because we went to high school with a kid who had a.
What was that, dude? All right.
We went to high school with a kid who had a collapsed lung in a game, and they just reinflate it, and then you're out for a
What?
couple weeks.
Wait,
Blow it up like a
send something
balloon.
down like a bed, like a air mattress.
Exactly.
And you got somebody just stepping on it,
Yeah, it was like in Space Jam, right?
and then they check the PSI, and then they puncture it. You know what I mean? With the thing.
Oh, too much.
They really just inflate it back. Do they just send somebody down there?
I don't know the procedure, but I just know they reinflate it.
It's terrible.
It's not fun.
Hey, Jay, you ever have a collapsed lung?
No, I've had a bruised lung, I guess. But no,
What is a bruised lung?
Did you have to relapse it?
No. I love how you said, do they send somebody down there to inflate it?
I mean, I got questions, dude. I got questions.
You never know.
How big's your lung, too? Like this big?
Oh, it's pretty.
I think it's mad. It's part of your.
Decent size.
Yeah.
It's the
Maybe
majority of your chest
Size,
cavity.
size of like a lamb chop.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, that
Maybe
sounds
like
good.
that mask you got right there.
Yeah, 2 of those.
By the way, this mask started something really special. This mask right. Yep, Foxy, there you go. That mask right
Like
there.
2 of those.
That's what my lung looks like? No way.
Well, it's not as shiny, but that's about the size that I think I'd put it.
Oh,
at.
some people.
How come
have
I
that shot.
can't hold my goddamn breath longer if that's the size of my fucking lung?
You see Michael Phelps?
I have seen him. Guy
Yeah.
can swim. He also hits bongs like a champ. dude.